I thank God every day that I live in this lifetime and I get to experience just life itself in this particular lifetime. And I thank God that the internet exists and we're able to see things that we wouldn't have seen back in the day, just living in an outsider's point of view. The US election is the greatest comedy show, whatever piece of entertainment ever produced unintentionally. Like, it's just so funny to watch every 4 years a whole country collectively melt down regardless of your side. Regardless of your side, you both look dumb. I want to just be the first to tell you, if no one realizes this, you both look dumb, and it's funny for everyone but you guys. And some of the things that people believe and say is just not like true. Like, no one outside of America would be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, so many things about American politics don't make sense outside, but so many things about American politics affects the outside. So a lot of us like watch, like, oh, let's see what's gonna happen for the next 4 years, because even in things like art or like culture or like like just things that we do, everything we consume day-to-day basis is affected by politics. Now politics has injected its way into everything, and purposely done so, by the way. Like, great job, not by either any side, but like in general. Like, they want us to be consuming this constantly. They want us to constantly be arguing for them, and every 4 years come out and vote. This is what they want. So it's not like this has been done by mistake. No, this has purposely been done to us. And when it comes to these elections, it's just so funny the amount of times that I was just like, oh gosh, like, people don't know what people outside of America really think. Like, people will say things that just don't apply in the like real world outside America, because America's so privileged that they don't understand sometimes how, like, oh, real life works. Like, most people in America have a privilege of just being American. First of all, this was obviously gonna happen. Like, Donald Trump obviously was gonna win. I think everyone saw this. We're like, oh yeah, like, Kamala is just not likable. Like, she doesn't look real. She doesn't seem real. She's never said anything that like relates to anyone but herself. Like, and even with this ambiguity of race thing that she thinks is working in her favor, like, I'm getting the Indian vote and the black vote. No, it's just making Indians and black people be like, what are you? Like, because outside of America, like if you're like in Africa, we're not gonna be like, oh, that's a black lady, or in India, they're not gonna be like, oh, that's an Indian lady. That's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be vice versa. A lot of black people gonna be like, a lot of people in Africa will be like, this is an Indian lady, and all the people in India will be like, this is a black lady. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're not really having the appeal that you think you are. And also outside of America, like, when Joe Biden was your president, like, really and truly, you were kind of a laughing stock. Like, you guys, like, no one takes Joe Biden seriously. Like, he is basically being carted out and shown to people as a face for a party that, like, that just like has basically given up now and just gone to the like petty tactics to try to win elections. They don't even really care. If they really cared, they would have put out a candidate that actually could have done something that isn't Joe Biden 4 years ago, but they just don't care. They just want to win the election. So they want to get as much votes, so they put candidates that they see they can get as much votes at the time. Joe Biden ran on the front that, oh, a bit of Obama, he was Obama's vice president, and he had, he's an old white guy as well, and he had the, oh, Kamala as my vice president, even though she was 16th or something in the vote for the primaries, which is crazy. Like, here's the thing that, like, bro, no one wanted her to even run in 2020, and now they're trying to convince you that she's the one to run the country now, which is crazy. And that's another thing. It's like, it's a lot of, I feel as if what turns a lot of people off from Democrats or liberal people is just that, like, it's always a lot of feeling of talking down to you. Like, they never, like, they it doesn't seem like you're a real person. It's like, oh, you're bad, and they always have to move the goalposts to the point. It's like, oh, this is bad, oh, now this is bad, oh, now this is bad. Like, what happened to just being normal people? What happened to just being, just going about your day and doing your stuff? Like, these people just make it like they make these things like the center of their lives, and it's not just real life things. Like, Like I saw these people say it on TikTok, and it actually just makes so much sense. Who cares who's gay, and who cares who's black, who's white? Who cares when you can't pay your bills? You know, people, these people want you to put their identity above your needs and wants. They wanted you to vote for someone based on the fact that that's a black woman when you couldn't pay your bills. Like, do you understand how like kind of selfish that sounds? And they're gonna tell you you're selfish because you only thought about yourself, even though that's how you're meant to vote. Am I right? Like the whole emphasis on everyone should vote, everyone should get a voice, but you're telling people, oh, if they vote a certain way, then they shouldn't have a voice. You know, this is the thing that makes Democrats just seem so like unlikable to people. You know, you can't talk down to people, and I feel as if no one talks about, but like the effect that Jubilee single-handedly had on like the election. You know, Jubilee was like that content they put out. I don't know if they knew they were doing this, but like they just made Democrats seem like the most unlikable people ever in every single try. Like, let's say the Charlie Kirk video, like that video, like it made all those kids seem so stupid, even though some of them had some points, like had some good points. All of them just seemed like little pricks. Like no one really liked them. Like, you can be right, but at the end of the day, you have to make people like you, and that's the game of politics. And if you're like, even if you, oh yeah, your points make sense, like the way you say it and the way you deliver it and the way you act really does matter, because at the end of the day, like, these are just regular people. Everyone's just normal, and if you're trying to talk down to people and make it seem like your issues mean more to them than should mean more to them than their own issues, it doesn't make sense, you know. And watching this from a neutral standpoint, like a lot of things that Democrats kind of run on, like they do matter. Like these issues, it's like I feel as if when you make it seem like oh Democrats, Republican, no, I feel as if all these issues matter and should probably be handled in a better way than in like this two-party thing that America like really insists on doing. Like, you know, all these talks about abortion rights and gun laws, like these are things that countries need to address, you know, instead of fight over every 4 years to get votes. You know, like do you notice how these issues never get solved because every other person comes in promising to solve it, you know, from the last time, you know? And that's the thing, they use it as ploys for their game. But you know, if they just came together and actually made and ran the country right, instead of trying to get a power grab, you know, these things can get solved. And I feel as if like when you, instead of these two-party things that Americans try to do, and you know, trying to make it Democrat versus Republican, maybe if you just thought about the people in the country rather than try to winning for your side, because this is what it is. Politics is a game now. Even Trump winning, it's like he's won now, but like, and in another 4 years, like even if he wins, and like, you think he's gonna do everything he says? No, like that's the thing. This is the thing for me. Is like, if you vote for politicians based on like their character and their good and who they are as people, like you're a good person, but also you have to realize that I don't think any politician is a good person. Like Donald Trump is a scumbag, you know, like he's not a good person, and it's a bit insane to be like a full-out Trump supporter. You can have conservative values, but being Trump is kind of insane to me because he's a pretty scummy guy. But also, I think Kamala is also pretty scummy as well, you know, because I think most politicians, if you as a human being can put yourself in the mind frame of I can run an entire country, you're a bit sick in the head, in my opinion. You're a bit sick in the head. That's kind of the red flag over there. And you know, these people aren't your friends. They're not doing this. They don't really like you. They want your vote. They don't really care what you do, you know? Like at the end of the day, they're in it for themselves. And let's say there are those who want to actually make a change. Like changes can't get made because there's so much bureaucracy, and you have to go through all these systems just to make like a simple change, and every topic has to be politicized and everything has to be a party issue, and one party has to agree and one party has to disagree, instead of hey, let's just all talk about this and, you know, maybe take a vote on it. You know, like it's just this game of politics. But yeah, watching it as an outsider, 10 out of 10 experience. People should. I think if you're a Democrat, and you should really be angry at Jubilee because their influence on this election was just crazy. They just made Democrats look like idiots. Like you just made, and even TikTok, like a lot of these like TikToks that were trying to help Kamala really did not help her at all. Like I feel as if young people kind of won this election for Trump, and he realized that, and he literally pandered to young people. Like Kamala thought she was pandering to young people, but she just didn't like know how to connect. Like this is the thing; she doesn't seem like a real person. Like this is not what young people don't like being told what to do. Like we don't like a TikTok of fucking Parker and whoever the other Democratic people he was with. Then you vote for me because I vote because I'm sorry. Like bro, like relax, dude. Like who you talking to really? I'll beat the shit out of you. But yes, like it's just it is what it is. At the end of the day, the next 4 years there's gonna be another election cycle. It's gonna be funny to watch from the outside. I'm just happy that I'm not American and I can just watch this from the outside. It doesn't have to really affect me. I mean, it does affect, but you know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and on the election. Even if you're someone who's not in America, who did you support and everything? What did you think about? And do you think Trump's gonna do what he says? Do you think he's gonna end the war in Palestine? But yeah.